Welcome back, everybody, to the Aaron's High Cap Adventure Radio program, March 23rd, 2019. I couldn't let that music go, man. Smoke on the water. How can you let that stop playing? Anyway, ladies and gentlemen, I don't have a guest. It's me. And I was telling you earlier on in the show highlights, I was a couple weeks ago, 2 or 3 weeks ago, Joel, wasn't it 2 or 3 weeks ago, I played this clip, a replay of the 7 steps to preparedness, what happens to you based on my life. And one of them was burnout. Well, there's all these steps to preparedness. When you first realize, oh my gosh, I'm behind the curve, or you realize, oh my gosh, I need to start preparing, you have this like panic attack and you start going crazy. Well, we played that, and then I was just looking through some of my notes. I have a whole bunch of binders and notes, things. I'm a writer and that kind of stuff. And I noticed all these preparatory pages I had of preparing. And I thought, this would be a good follow-up, kind of give you an idea of what it takes to prepare. And I don't know if you know it or not, but I'm a songwriter too, a poet, all bad, doesn't matter. And I've got a poem and song here that I wrote. So it's going to go both for preparing yourself for the coming of the Lord and also for preparing yourself for the coming of the zombie apocalypse. So I'm going to read this before I start talking to my notes that I saw here. But what I wrote this in 2009. It's titled Ready or Not. I guess I'll go with, okay, here we go. The clouds are coming, they're rolling in. You're not aware? Where have you been? Just read the signs, they're everywhere. Or are you one who doesn't care? You know the truth, but turn your back. It's common sense you seem to lack. It stares at you, it's plain to see. The thief is coming for you and me. And then the chorus would be, ready or not, he's on his way. There is no stopping Judgment Day. You're in the book or cast away. Ready or not on Judgment Day. Are you ready? He's on his way. There is no stopping Judgment Day. Then we go, I have no oil that I can spare when the thief has come and he's standing there. You'll be on your own without a clue. There's nothing left for you to do. You laugh and joke at what I say. The day is coming and you will pay. You had your chance, but let it go. The thief has come. You should have known. Ready or not, he's on his way. There is no stopping Judgment Day. You're in the book or cast away. Ready or not on Judgment Day. Are you ready? He's on his way. There is no stopping Judgment Day. So that's for the coming of the Lord, and it's also for the coming of the apocalypse. You better be ready. And if you're not ready, you're either going to have a panic attack and start to get ready, and then you'll have to refer back to my video of the 7 steps of preparedness, or just not give a darn and keep your head in your smartphone. With that leads me up to my notes. There's a whole bunch of different ways you can look at getting prepared. If it's just by yourself and you're just going to be a minimalist about it, you can have your bug out bag and put your stuff in your bug out bag, which I'll probably touch on here in just a minute. If you're a little bit more aggressive, you could have your bug out bag and your bug out vehicle. Your bug out vehicle is to get you out of Dodge, like the hurricanes coming and people from Houston had to move out. Well, you should have your vehicle prepped and ready and the things that are going to go in your vehicle. If it gets really bad, you have a secondary location to go to, the whole works. So, or you could take it as you're an individual thinking about this, or you're going to think about other people that you've talked to, your neighbors or special friends that you want to get a group together. God forbid anything happens, you can help each other out. Where one is weak, the other is strong. When the pedal's up, the pedal's down. You help each other out. Okay, so one of my first notes here was it's the factor of 3. You've all heard the factor of 3. Like in 3 seconds, you have no faith. Okay, you can't survive without faith in less than 3 seconds, and it's basically saying you never lose your faith. 3 hours with no shelter, 3 days without water, 3 weeks without food, 3 months no companionship. It starts to drive you crazy. And of course, this is just an average. There's some people who've gone many, many more times beyond that, but it's just a generalization. It's kind of make you realize the importance of each particular item here when it comes to shelter, water, food, faith, and companionship. Okay, so keep that in mind, the factors of 3. Let's say you want to do a group of people here. Well, you can't just all be independent. You got to come together as a group, right? So you're going to have a leader, and you're going to have an assistant leader. If all my military personnel out there, you'll probably know where I'm going with this. There's a lot of people. I've talked to people at churches, I've talked to people at schools. I've talked to groups of people in different areas about this, and they're always asking me questions. Well, what would you do? What would you do? I say, well, here we go. You would want at least a couple specialists in the next 5 areas, and there's always more areas, but these are the basic ones. Operations. How is everything going to work? You need a couple people in all these in case, you cross-reference with each other. If one goes down and the other one's available, at least have 2 people. It's just a good idea. So operations on how things work. 2 people who are very familiar with weapons for security purpose. You got to have people who understand how to use the weapons and fix them and teach other people. You need engineers if you have to build things or maybe even take things down. You never know. But at least have a couple people who know what they're doing in that area. Medical, obviously, is extremely important. If you can't have access to your local Scott and White because society is broken down, can you do it on your own? What do you have for medical? So you need some people who can understand that. And then, of course, communication. Without communication, everything fails. You've got to have some form of communication with other groups, with people within your group, so on and so forth. And you must cross-train everybody. Everybody must cross-train. It's like an A-team on a Special Forces A-team. Everybody knows everybody else's job in case one person goes down, the other person picks up the slack, okay? You also may want a chaplain or a counselor. And these people should not be one of the leaders because they need to be in a special group by themselves just so they can take care of other important matters that happens in situations that what we're talking about may be needed for. You might want a medical reference book, some natural remedies and old remedies. That's why, ladies and gentlemen, if you can find the older people here, the seasoned citizens of our communities, ask them, hey, what did you do back in the day when we had this problem or this problem? What kind of herbs or spices or special brews did you come up with to take care of, sickness? And what natural remedies did you have to take care of these things? Here's another big thing too, and I've been trying to find somebody who can really tell me old school. I can look it up, but I want an old school person to come in here, give me a call, tell me, hey, you'd be willing to come on to talk about preserving meat for long-term storage. Think about the day back in the colonial days when the army's on the march and they've got to feed their troops. They've got food in barrels, salted or in fat, or lard, whatever. I would like to talk to somebody and learn the old school ways. Like I said, I can look it up, I can Google it, we can all do that, but it's good to hear the old tricks of the trade from the people who've been there and done it before us, okay? Here's what I think is extremely important if you're in a group. You got to have leadership. And the leadership, I call it the Supreme Three. The Supreme Three. 3 people, one of which is in charge of each of these things. The practical aspect of your situation, the emotional aspect of your situation, and the tactical situation, okay? What practically should we do? But sometimes being practical can cause emotions from other people. So we got to have somebody say, no, you got to be sensitive on this, okay? I'll tell you why. On my observation piece, I was talking about something pretty aggressively. Well, that was my second draft. My first draft was pretty radical, okay? So I was getting, I guess you'd be tactical. Well, I talked to somebody who's on the emotional side of it, and they said, you might want to tone it down a little bit so that more people are receptive to it. So when you have these 3 people in the practical, tactical, and emotional sense, it hopefully will round itself off to come out with a fantastic product of what you have to do. Also, on the list of my notes, I've got scribbles and scratches of all different things, and I made copies of them here, so I'm just going to read it through here. I got, on that same page, I wrote down garbage and waste disposal. Did you ever think about that? It's going to start piling up. Look at San Francisco. Look at the people on the street. Look at the waste, the human waste. Look at the trash, disease, and rats, and all that kind of stuff. You've got to figure out a way for your garbage disposal, your waste disposal. Do you burn it? Do you start using different things as compared to what you've normally done? Do you start washing more dishes as compared to using paper plates? A lot of packaging gets involved, but at that point in time, you won't have packaging. You'll be doing it yourself. You'll still have waste. So you got to learn how to recycle. Security, absolutely mandatory. You pacifists out there, trust me, you're going to pray for somebody to help you. You're going to hope they get there quick, and you're going to hope they have a gun. So get yourself squared away, and I can help you with that. License to carry. Speaking of which, I got a license to carry class on the 30th of this month, Saturday, 2 o'clock. I have spots open. If you want to get in there, you need to call me ASAP to lock yourself in there. Sleeping arrangements. You don't think about it until it's time to go to bed. And if you're in a bad situation, sleeping on the ground gets damp, cold, and uncomfortable. So you need to figure out a way to square that away. Food rationing. When you used to go to the refrigerator every 15 minutes to pull out whatever's in front of you, that's not going to happen in a situation like this. So you need to figure out what's it going to take to keep your health up. You're going to have comfort foods, foods that will store for a long time. Figure out what kind of meals you're going to be making. What kind of meals can be made on the cheap, easily, but also get your nutrition value out there. Do you have a kitchen crew? I remember peeling potatoes in the military. Okay, you're going to have some people there doing the necessities for the crew. You got rotating crews, a kitchen crew, a hunting team, security team. Sometimes, however, I would never rotate a security team. Once you get your security personnel in place, they know what they're doing. The security personnel needs to train others just in case, God forbid, something happens to the security team, they can be replaced. But security, they're sharp. Be good hunters, good eyes, good ears. How about farming? In your group of people, do you have cross training with people? Do you have cross strengths? So whoever's a farmer, one person may be a farmer, the other person may not be a farmer. So you just share with each other. What kind of equipment do you have available? How can you help each other out? Barter, extremely important. In critical situations, early on especially, money means nothing. Gold means nothing because you can't eat it. Unless you got some people in a very good position and who can weather the storm, they may take your gold. However, cigarettes, ammunition, liquor, oils, beans, all those things that you can trade is for barter. Make sure you have all your medical supplies. Clothing, shoes, boots, extremely important. Yes, we live in a hot area, but we all know it gets cold as well, so we need to have proper clothing. Vehicles. What kind of vehicles do you have? Where are you located? Where are you going to be hunkering down? If you're out in the woods, your little Prius, is that what you call it? That little electronic box of a car, it's not going to help you out too much, I don't think. So make sure you get the proper type of vehicles for where you're at. Horses, they eat a lot, but they also get you around a lot. So you have to weigh the difference as to if you want a horse, mule, goat, whatever. Transportation kind of goes with the horses. Fuel doesn't last that long, gasoline. Even when you stabilize it, it doesn't last that long. Here's the big one. I'm still reading on the first page of my notes. Communication, absolutely vital for the survival of groups, individuals, so on and so forth. You got to be able to communicate. Do you have a handheld radio? Do you have scanners, CB, ham radios, hand crank generators to keep everything powered up? What's your chain of command? Do you have a chain of command? Who's in charge? Do you respect the chain of command, or are you going to be an individual? There is no individual crap when it comes to a situation like this. You all work together as a team. Let's see what else we got. Current event schedule, stages. Are you prepping? Are you going to stay at home and hunker down? You're going to prep to go to a secondary, and then you move to your secondary. So you're going to prep, you're going to stay home and hunker down, you're going to prep to go to your secondary, and then move to your secondary. So all these things have to be thought out. What's your route to your secondary location? What's the method of movement to your secondary location? You taking notes? Second page of my notes, I've got a list here of water, food, fire, shelter, protection, vehicle, plan, lights. Let's go over them. Water bottles, filters, purification tablets. You got to have water. If you don't clean it up, you're going to get sick. So make sure you got some form of clean water or a method to get it clean. Food, MREs, ramen, miscellaneous, all that extra stuff that'll last for decades and lifetimes because it's made out of fake stuff. But at least they'll get you through the situation for a short term. Fire, you got to have multiple methods of fire. Matches, propane, lighters, fire starter. Shelter, if you're on the move, you have tents, tarp, rope, straps, stakes, sleeping bags, emergency blankets. What's your protection method? Guns, ammo, knives, security alarms, restraints. What if somebody breaks into your area of operation and you don't want to, stop them permanently? You need to restrain them, right? Well, what's your method for doing that? How about your vehicle? Is it a truck, car, Jeep? Do you have your gas, oil? Is it mechanically sound? Do you have power adapters so you can plug in some type of appliances? Example, a hair dryer or a drill or something like that. Plan, where are you going to go? How are you going to get there? And what do you do? Do you have maps? Go to Carta Maps. Get yourself some maps made of the area. I talked about Carta Maps. Great Great website. Lights, flashlights, lanterns, glow sticks, batteries to back it up, fuel for your lanterns. Glow sticks are great because that's the only thing in the military inventory that you can break that still works. Did you know that? Guys, did you know that? Miss Key? You got it. All the equipment in the military, if you break it, it doesn't work. But in this one, this glow stick, you break it, all the chemicals mix up, and it works. It's amazing. That's like military intelligence. It's an oxymoron. Okay, what else we got? I got so much stuff here. Sunglasses, charcoal, lighter fluid, washboards for washing your clothes. You ever think about that? Your clothes are going to get dirty, right? Ladies, feminine hygiene, that's a big thing. Garbage bags, clothespins, all sorts of things you can do with clothespins. Fire extinguishers, baking soda as an alternative to a fire extinguisher. Work boots. Here's a big one, mosquito repellent. You ever think about putting mosquito repellent? When they have sales at the end of summer on mosquito repellent, you're buying 5, 6, 7 bottles at a clip. Bleach, mandatory. You can use bleach to purify water. Screws, nails, nuts, and bolts. Never thought about that one, did you? You've got to board up the side of your windows. Peppermint schnapps. Just for the hell of it. No, peppermint schnapps is great for settling a bad stomach. It's medicinal. Yeah, it's medicinal. And you can go to Liquor Depot in the Milan Plaza. George, get ready for a rush of people coming in to get peppermint schnapps. It's great. I'm not kidding you. Go
it's good
there.
For coughs too. And
Soothes your
sore
cough,
throats.
Sore throats. And whatever else ails you. Okay. Deodorant. Nobody wants to smell you. And also you don't want the enemy to smell you. WD-40 is always great to have. Lice shampoo. Lice. Think about it. Auto supplies. You want spark plugs, wires, hoses, coolant. Don't forget your baling wire, duct tape, and flathead screwdriver, right? I'm going to stop in about another minute because I've got the incredible Master Cindy Key in here. Are you going to abuse me today? You just going to talk? Oh, okay. I got a note here on bug out bags. Oh, let me do this one since I'm about to run out of time. I'll do the bug out vehicle loading sheet. Truck, gassed, all fluids good, tires okay. Extra gas cans, water, bug out bags, toilet paper, 3 cases MREs, Coleman stove, cooking bag, bag with extra Coleman fuel, first aid kit, ammo and supplies, gun boxes, guns, tarps, rope, 550 cord. 550 cord is fantastic. It's parachute cord. And its guts have about 7 strands of white nylon strands in it, and you can use it for all sorts of things. Canned food, fruit, vegetables, meat, dog leashes. If you got dogs, you got to secure them. You want to run them off. Fishing rod, equipment, tack vest. That's always important. Flashlight, bulletproof vest, even more important than your tack vest. Tent, sleeping bags, bug repellent, shortwave, 2-ways, batteries. Now, ladies and gentlemen, these are just sheets that I found, and as every time I thought of something, I would write it down. And I just want you to, think about this. I'll put this on video probably Tuesday or Wednesday next week. You can listen to it. We can go over some more of it next week, but I'm running out of time here. These are just thoughts to think about as, I don't think we're going to have a civil war. I think we're going to have individual war. Civil war, if you think about it, North versus South, that's one thing because there was a unity. Here, it seems everybody's so divided with one another. There's so many people thinking so many different things in so many different directions. It doesn't matter if you're in a group or not. It's almost like everybody hates each other. So you got to watch out for yourself. Be prepared for somebody who wants to just assault you on an individual basis. Okay, that's enough of me talking.